Aberdeen Sports Village in the northeast of Scotland. We're here live for the first match of the Netball Europe U-21 Championships in association with inspiresports and brought to you with the support of Aberdeen City Council and Aberdeen Sports Village. I'm Lynn Carpenter and I'll be leading you through these 3 days of under-21 competition between Scotland, England, Northern Ireland and Wales. This evening has already seen England taking on Northern Ireland, but the match we're about to watch will see host Scotland playing against Wales. England were the resounding winners earlier on this evening in that first game. In a moment, we'll take a look at the squads, but first, a reminder of how to play your part at home. Join the conversation on Twitter at Netball Europe using the hashtag Netball Europe U-21. And to keep up with all the action live and on demand, head to the YouTube channel and subscribe for free. youtube.com/Netball Europe. Now, Wales v Scotland. The starting 7 for Wales. At goal shooter, Georgina Rowe. Goal attack, Sarah Llewellyn, who's also captain. Bethan Dyke putting on the wing attack bib. At centre, Emily Holland. Wing defence is Louis Howe. Fern Davis at goal defence and Evie Brereton, goalkeeper. Subs for Wales are Edwards, Hitchings, James, Shaw and Skinner. And moving on to Scotland. Starting in the goal shooter bib is Bethan Goodwin. Goal attack, Joanne Petit. The captain, Nicola McCleary, starts at wing attack. At centre, Kelly Boyle. Wing defence, Rachel Einon, the vice-captain. Bethany Sunderland is on at goal defence. And goalkeeper is Lauren Tate. And the subs for Scotland are Edgar, Huliston, McDonald, Tui and Valentine. And I'm very pleased to say that joining me this afternoon is Jerry Moore from Netball Scotland. Jerry, welcome.
Thanks, Elaine.
Second match of the Under-21 event this weekend. Good start by England.
Excellent start by England.
What do you expect to see between the two teams this night?
Yeah, I think we're just about to see a very highly contested game, Lynn, by both teams. They're both looking very fresh in the warm-up. Lots of depth of experience from both. We've got some players who've just returned from World Cup, taken to court here at Under-21 level, so a depth of experience, and also some young guns taken to court too.
And when these teams met back at the World Youth Netball Cup in 2013, there was hardly anything to sort of tell between them, really, was there? I mean, Wales did finish ahead in 6th place and Scotland in 12th, but is that 6th position difference going to be shown tonight, do you think?
I think potentially Scotland have been able to narrow that gap with the work that's been going on within the national squads at home. But yes, Wales are looking really strong as well, but I would imagine this is going to be a really much tighter contest than back in 2013.
And of course, there's a lot at stake here this weekend because it's not only about who wins the tournament, but also for most of these young players. In fact, 37 of the 48 players this weekend are eligible for the 2017 World Youth Netball Cup in Botswana. So any ideas or any thoughts on who we might see there?
Yeah, I think across the board, that's a fantastic start to quote there, Lynn. 36 young potential athletes eligible for selection for Botswana. We're graced with the presence of most of the national coaches out here watching. It's the beginning of a selection process across the board for all the home nations, and all these young girls will be out to impress. As I say, both Scotland and Wales have both 2 players taken to court tonight who are just fresh from the Senior World Cup in Sydney. You would imagine they're going to be a good strength for both of the teams and leading these teams out. Nicola McCleary, the captain for Scotland, was long squad for the Scottish Thistles. So certainly, a lot of experience here and people really vying for places.
So we're going to see not only competitive on the court between the two sides, but clearly quite a lot of competition within the squads themselves as well.
I would imagine so. That's the name of the game, Lynn. All these players, yeah, it's a team game. They're out to perform best for their country when they take to court, but each one of them wants to put on that starting 7 bib and feature in that squad of 12.
And as you can see, the teams are warming up on court. You can see The Welsh team going through their warm-up. We talked in the last game with Maggie Jackson about the importance of the competition that these players are getting outside of events like this, and I can see from the Wales side that some of the players are involved in some of the Super League competition. Where does Scotland and Wales, do you think, sit in terms of that ability to get competitive matches for players?
Yeah, certainly for Scotland it's a key focus moving forward, Lynn. Post-World Cup we have had many of our players actually invited for trials for Super League teams. A couple of the young players here are also involved in those potential selections coming up in the next month or so. It's critical that they get that exposure week in, week out, the best competition we have in the United Kingdom.
So if you were to describe what tactics we might see here this evening, what would you say? How do you think, for example, the Scottish team will give some consideration to the Welsh competition tonight? What do you think they might be looking to do?
Yeah, I think both teams, Scotland will be looking to focus on their own game. We have very similar styles of play in Europe, but both have strengths. Scotland have been identifying what is their game. It is that fast-flowing, fight to the death, play with heart and soul and don't give up. They'll certainly take their game out to the Welsh team tonight.
And as we can see, the Scotland team are just getting together in the pre-game huddle. Really important to focus and get yourselves ready for the game.
Yeah, it's a critical moment. The players and the management team coming together. Normally the captain would put that final call on that chant in. You see the hands in there bonded. They are ready to go together and take the game to court.
And do you think there's any of these players in particular? I mean, there's a lot of young players, but there are some experienced. Who do you think would stand out in your view? Who should we look out for?
Well, in terms of Scotland, obviously that's the team I know pretty well. Bethany Sutherland, who's just returned from exposure at the World Cup, was an excellent young defender taken to court at the highest level we've seen out in Sydney. Held her own in every game. I would have expected Bethany to shine at these championships. Joanne Pettit was obviously in Sydney for Scotland as well. A very consistent shooter, and she will be leading this team in attack. She's coupled with a very young up-and-coming shooter, Bethan Goodwin. She'll be quite a new face to most of the home nation. She's captained the under-17s in Hull this year, and yeah, they're quite a force to reckon with in attack at the moment.
And Wales have a mixture of 7 players who are eligible to go to Botswana and 5 slightly older, perhaps slightly more experienced. You've got Georgia Rowe in there, who's also had some senior caps. Bethan Dyke, 20 senior caps, so pretty experienced too.
Yeah, Bethan's an absolute little star. We've seen Bethan feature heavily for the Celtic Dragons and out in the Super League, and Georgia Rowe has come through in the last few years as an excellent addition to the Welsh team, and now obviously will feature very prominently in this under-21 squad. Fantastic height there in the circle for Wales, and the feeds are critical. Bethan Dyke will let that ball go. She'll have no fear with doing that, so that will be a challenge for the Scotland defence.
And of course, as we acknowledged in the previous game, the game of netball isn't what it isn't without our umpires, and we welcome to the match tonight Carol Williams and Anne-Marie Aiken, and in the reserve position is Caswell Palmer. So these umpires will perhaps be a bit nervous this evening. They're experienced.
I would imagine so, yes. It's always a nervous experience when you come to these championships. It's very professionally run by all the home nations, the way these events are taking place. The addition of the live streaming potentially brings some additional pressure to the players, to the coaches, to the umpires, but it's fantastic for our game to get this exposure.
And I guess everyone is delighted with the fact that the tournament, in association with Inspire Sports, support from Aberdeen City Council, here at the actual Aberdeen Sports Village, and our support from QTV Sports and the production, we're beginning to get people around us as a sport in the region who seem to want to be part of what we're going to see this evening.
It is all about partnership working. It's a key focus for Netball Scotland. We have fantastic partners in Scotland. Aberdeen City Council have put their money behind this event to get our sport out and to showcase the wonderful city of Aberdeen. Aberdeen Sports Village is a key partner as well. They've hosted this European Championships. They've done so before, and they will continue to put their name behind netball, which is fabulous. Great partners in Europe, great partners for the home nations, and a wonderful sponsor coming on board in Inspire Sports.
And we're just about to get underway now in this second game of the Netball Europe Under-21 Championships in association with Inspire Sport. The ball girls this evening are from Robert Gordon's College. Just waiting for big moment there for the ball girl to bring the ball in. We're just about ready to start. Wales v Scotland, and Scotland take the first centre pass. So first few seconds in every game, just teams need to settle down.
Yeah, it's just all about settling the nerves, play your own game.
Good interface and balls between Petit and Goodwin in the Scottish circle. And Scotland get us off to a start, 1-0 to them. So immediate turnover there by Scotland. Good pressure there against the very tall Georgia Rowe.
Yeah, it was excellent positioning by Lauren Tate, but unfortunately the backline ball hasn't just come through.
So Wales get a second bite of the cherry. Early in this game, 1-1. Louis Howe called for distance there. And again, perhaps a little bit more discipline just needed there, 3 feet.
Yeah, probably just a little bit of nerves there. She's not worked out the distance at the moment, but she'll clean it up. The umpire will make sure she does so. A miss there by Jo Pettit. So it's a Welsh turnover.
Maybe not surprising when we're talking about some of these players and their age, but in this match and certainly in the earlier England v Northern Ireland, each team just took a little bit of time to settle down. Quite a few unforced errors at the beginning. Yeah. Do you think that's perhaps down to their age, the pressure of the event?
I think that's exactly what it is, Lynn. It's a combination of all of that going on in their heads. They are young. Yeah, there's a huge crowd. We've got a sell-out crowd here at the ASB, which is fantastic for our sport. But yeah, it all brings a little bit of pressure. It takes a while to get that calmness into their game. And the management teams will work closely with them at that at quarter time just to settle the nerves a little.
Yep, good competition there.
Yeah, it was a lovely interception by Kelly Boyle. They really kept her eye on the ball.
That was good defence by Scotland there. Sorry, by Wales. Forced the turnover on 3 seconds. Good pick up by Bethan Dyke there.
Yeah, and Bethany Sutherland's just missed time in a couple of those intercepts at the moment. She's been called a couple of times.
Pressure from Bethan Goodwin paid off. Scotland bring the ball out.
Yeah, that's Wales showing patience there, just trying to bring the ball through nice and calmly to the top of the circle.
And indeed, well worked into goal shooter Georgia Rowe. Puts the ball away to level the match at 2-2. Great feed in there by Nicola McCleary, captain of Scotland.
Yeah, it was great weight in the ball and lovely positioning by Bethan Goodwin.
And Joanna Petit puts it away. Good pressure by centre for Scotland, Kelly Boyle. Wales using all the edge of the circle. A good advantage.
Yeah, it's good positioning by Georgia Rowe under the post there to take the rebound. Leveling the score at 3-all to Scotland centre.
Oh, that was a good tip there by goal defence for Wales, Fern Davis, and forced it off the Scottish player. Teams have really got to look after the centre pass a little bit more, perhaps.
Yeah, it's been a little bit untidy by both. They're putting themselves under pressure. So, yeah, it's just about being showing confidence, driving forward, take that easy ball, look after the ball and reward it with a goal. It's a good swing of the ball there by Wales. Couldn't get the first time ball in, but showing good patience, working it under post to Georgia Rowe.
Slightly different style of attack here than we saw in the previous game. Georgia doesn't tend to come out too much. She plays in the circle, looks for the high ball, goal attack moving, target in front.
Yeah, it certainly is. They're going to use the height of Georgia Rowe in the circle. Should play more of a stationary game there.
Again, Wales bringing the ball down. Contact against Sutherland goal defence.
Yeah, Lauren Tate just called for contact. Just needs to come round a bit cleaner.
Scotland just need to dig in a bit now, not let this game go away too much in this early few minutes of the first quarter.
This will be the fourth goal in a row here for Wales, so yeah, Scotland need to step up.
Scotland moving the ball well, patient in attack, just waiting to create the space. And well worked into Joanne Pettit. That score will give them a little bit of confidence back again.
A little bit, it was a better move, lots more patient, bringing the ball forward and consolidating for a nice goal.
Bethan Gooden just getting caught a bit flat there on the
Bethany.
goal shooter for Wales.
A bit of a misunderstanding there in attack between the Scotland front players.
How often do these two teams play at each other at this level?
So I would say it was only annually at the European Championships. Certainly we haven't hosted anything that the young age group squads compete in.
So for some of these players, this might be their first real taste of proper international competition.
I know many of the under-17s, the under-21s for Scotland here have competed at under-17 national level, and I'm sure it would be the same for Wales. But other than that, that is one annual competition. Some of the girls, Bethany Sutherland, for example, Nick McCleary, Joanne Pettit, were out in the World Youth Championships, which was great exposure. But other than that, it's once a year. So it's not something they do every week. So it is a big change and a lot of pressure.
Well worked under the post. And Bethan Gooden putting that one away confidently. Oh, good tip there. Much better positioning by Tate.
Much better. Lauren Tate had a really good angle on Georgia Rowe there. She was able to come round really cleanly and take that intercept. Just the confidence needed to let that first time ball go at times, Lynn.
Do you think that's because they're not used to playing together, that they your point about not getting that much competition.
Certainly don't have much competition. They do train very regularly together, so yeah, they should have the confidence in each other to put that ball into space and let it go, let the ball flow.
But when you're coming up against teams that are equally matched and as competitive, certainly. It adds a different dimension.
Pressure, yeah.
So we're into last 5 minutes of this quarter. Wales leading Scotland 11-5 at this stage. There is a school of thought, I've heard people saying, when shooters are in that dead ball situation, that standing, stepping forward, allowing the other defender to be closer than 3 feet had they stayed in the same place. Yep. And then Llewellyn there just missed the shot. Puts pressure on herself, perhaps?
It absolutely does. And, it is hard to see what the player on court is seeing at different angles, but it certainly puts added pressure on when they make that move towards the defence.
So Scotland gained the possession, bringing the ball down. Good interception by captain of Wales, Llewellyn. Well read there by Davis.
Yep. An easy intercept there, yeah. And great drive through court by Davis there after winning that ball for Wales.
That transition we talk about from defence into attack, and it doesn't matter which bib you have on, you've got to be able to do both.
Absolutely critical, yeah. How quickly can you get out from defence and bring that ball through an attack?
So Wales have an opportunity to extend their lead here. And that takes the score as we move just 3 minutes from quarter time, 13-5. I think we have an injury called by the Scottish goal attack, so timeout. She seemed to be walking okay, so hopefully nothing too serious at this stage.
Yeah, I'm sure she's just feeling a little twinge there, needing a little bit of attention. Certainly not the start Scotland would be hoping for, so gives them a time to get their heads together now, the others, and moving forward. They've got to come up with something different against Wales.
So as we know, if Scotland wanted to make any substitutions, they'd have to take the goal attack off because she was the person with the injury. So do you think there will be any change at this stage in the first quarter?
Yeah, I don't see any movement from the bench players at the moment. Hopefully it's nothing too serious with Joanne Pettit. Just a little bit of TLC, and the physio is looking after it. It looks like a bit of a twinge in her ankle. I'm not anticipating anything at the moment.
And of course, we're only 2.5 minutes from quarter time, so an opportunity then perhaps have a rethink. Would you expect to see any changes at quarter time based on the scoreline and what we're seeing?
Yeah, potentially. I think Bethan Dyke's very strong for the Welsh team at the moment. She's driving that attack, using the circle edge and the pockets, and an excellent feed into Georgia Rowe. So maybe a little bit of shake-up in the Scotland's combinations around that position there.
And of course, Bethany Sutherland, who's playing goal defence for Scotland, comes with a bit of a netball pedigree. Mum, Pat Sutherland, played for England netball a long time, so seen her north of the border playing for Scotland.
Yeah, she's got fantastic genes there, netball genes, and thankfully Dad's from the Highlands, so she's been capped for Scotland and an absolute valuable asset to the pathway in Scotland, a great role model for young players coming through the system here.
So goal attack is seemingly okay. Joanne Petit back on, and we're carrying on as we left off with just under 2.5 minutes to go in this first quarter here at the Aberdeen Sports Village.
Yeah, that's a much more confident movement of the ball by Scotland.
And got the goal on the back of that good passage of play.
Yet again, we see that drive of Bethan Dyke. Straight to pocket, lovely feed to Georgia Rowe. Wasn't very comfortable putting the shot up, Georgia, so she's played the ball back out.
Oh, great rebound there by Captain Llewellyn for Wales. The two Scottish defenders in there not making it easy.
No, they'll give their all in there and keep repositioning, looking at different angles, taking front off Georgia, pushing her forward, taking the back plays. They have to mix it up, make the feeders really think about where to place that ball.
So here comes Scotland again, trying to close that gap. Stands at 14 to Wales, 6 to Scotland. So an opportunity for Scotland to bring the gap down. And they do indeed. Last minute of this quarter.
Yeah, that was very easy passage of play by Wales. Great positioning across the board. Unfortunate miss by Georgia Rowe. It's back in Scotland possession. They've got 30 seconds to move the ball through court.
And as we know, in netball, 50 seconds is actually a long time. I wonder if these players will have the experience just to play the ball down, make sure they score off this.
That's a nice feed by Nicola McCleary. Good goal by Bethan Goodwin. Scores now Wales 14, Scotland 8, and it's a Scotland centre pass.
And they managed, I think, to hold on to their centre pass there. So we end the first quarter with the score at Wales 14, Scotland 8. So, Jerry, your impression of that first quarter?
Yeah, probably not. It was very tight for the first few minutes. Then Wales really put the pressure on and had an excellent passage of play. Kept, the ball, great possession, through to goal. Excellent shooting by Georgia Rowe.
So let's just see if we can hear what the Welsh bench are saying to the players after that first quarter.
Let's use our head and try more of that, but if there's two on her, please work the ball around. Okay? Okay, just talk to each other, that's it. So when they tie it off, then when the ball is Okay, so let's bring this back. We've got it.
So both teams talking about the changes in terms of their start that they need to make on the court, getting ready to come back on for the second period of time. Certainly no changes from Wales that we can see, and it looks like we're starting perhaps with one change for Scotland. We now see Nicola McCleary on at centre and Lee Valentine on at wing attack. Here we go, start of the second quarter, Wales in the lead, 14 goals to Scotland's 8.
That's an excellent start by Scotland on the attack there. Unfortunately, Bethan Goodwin just a bit of mishandling with the ball.
So Scotland bench obviously recognised that the wing attack, Nicola McCleary, was playing well, moved her up to centre and brought on Lee Valentine into wing attack position. Only change on the court this time. Good ball into Georgia Rowe. So unfortunate for Scotland there. They managed to hold on to the centre pass, but turnovers meant they've not capitalised.
The quarter they'd have been looking for. Well, that's quite a hesitant shot there, put up by Llewellyn, the captain. It's given possession back to Scotland. They're bringing the ball through very, very confidently now. That's an excellent hold by Bethan Goodwin. The ball just dropped in nicely.
And from
back on even in the second quarter.
Exactly. Scotland are going to want to capitalise on that.
And Davis just called for contact and given the opportunity to Scotland to move the ball through. Excellent quick hands by Nicola McCleary into Bethan Goodwin. Oh, bit of an overshot there.
Isn't that when the shooter said that was meant to be a pass? Well kept in there by Louis Howe of Wales. Good ball down to Holland at centre and into the captain Llewellyn. Chooses to do a nice little pass to Rowe. And that takes Wales' score up to 16 with their centre pass to come. So Llewellyn opting to step across again, and same result as last time on that penalty situation.
That move doesn't seem to be working for her. A good clean up by Georgia Rowe.
So no doubt this big home crowd, sellout crowd here will be enjoying the netball this evening.
Yeah, it's great for the sport to be able to sell these venues out now, and especially, unfortunately, we could have filled it twice over, but having the beauty of live streaming, we're still able to bring the sport across the country.
And that was a great passage of play by Wales, which Rowe easily capitalised on. So a stat for you from the Netball Europe Open, which was hosted in Antrim, Belfast back in May. We had over 72 countries tuning in then, and that was when there was a charge for the live streaming. Today, as we know, this is free on demand, so hopefully even more people will be interested.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and yeah, it's 4 home nations represented here, but I'm sure the interest will be global. It is the sport, it's up and coming around the world, and to get these young players the exposure they deserve in the lead up to the World Youth Champs in Botswana, I'm sure there'll be many, many countries tuning in over the next 24 hours.
And of course,
and
from
beyond.
The likes of Australia, New Zealand, Jamaica, those countries who aren't here, this is an ideal opportunity to have an early look at the competition ahead of Botswana 2017.
Yeah, it is critical for them to see what's coming through in the other countries. Obviously, England will be in the mix competing at that level with them, so they will be keeping their eye on the young England players coming through.
Very good rebound there by Davis for Wales. Good positioning in the circle. Good defence by the whole Scottish team there. That line putting pressure, and then Sutherland was able to come through for the intercept.
A lot of pressure and a great take by Bethany Sutherland, and great work through from the rest of the team. Evie
Brereton in there is making it difficult though for those shooters. But good shot by Joanne Petty. Narrows the gap slightly. Wales on 19, Scotland on 12.
Oh, that's a lovely pick-up from Rachel Inan there. Really focused and nice calm throughput of the ball.
So keeper deemed to be held. Goal attack. This feels like some improved passage of play by Scotland, some positive moves, narrowed the gap back to 6.
Yeah, certainly a lot more conviction. They're driving through to ball.
Well played there. Goodwin realised she dropped the ball.
Yeah, just a little bit of contact there for Davies as Bethan Goodwin released the ball.
You can hear the enthusiasm in the crowd getting behind the home side here.
Yeah, and it's great. We have travelling support for all teams, which is lovely, but certainly there is, you know, a huge home crowd here to cheer the Scotland squad on. It's great work by Lauren Tate to force the Welsh team back, so they'll have to show some patience. It's the right move there, play it back to Davies and build the ball back through again.
So Wales just taking their time on attack here. Building. But Scotland not making it easy. Good drive into the circle by Llewellyn. And great shot.
Yeah, it was a great shot under pressure there, Lynn. It took the Welsh team quite a while to get that ball through, and it was important to sink it.
Wales doing well under very good Scottish pressure, but great ball into row under the post.
Yeah, again, that's Bethan Dyke's experience. She just very quick release of the ball, excellent angles and excellent weight in the pass through. Oh, but unfortunate there, she's been pulled for footwork, so it gives the turnover to Scotland.
I think Dyke was wondering about the potential contact beforehand, but umpire didn't call it.
Yeah, umpire probably a bit blinded in her positioning there, couldn't see through the player, so can only call what she sees. And that's a nice first time ball from Nicola McCleary through to Bethan Goodwin. Oh, took a while to drop that one, Lynn.
So passage of play seems to be going against the centre pass at the moment, so let's see if Scotland can capitalise on their possession. That's a great ball under the post. Ball. Good shooter to shooter understanding. And indeed, another goal for Scotland.
Yeah, Georgia Rowe just carrying the ball out of play there, Lynn.
Yeah. Wales perhaps force the ball in. Here comes Scotland. Great ball again. Same Petit to Goodwin there, good understanding. Back down to 4, so pressure really being piled on by Scotland now against the Welsh side.
Yeah, it's typical of the game. We've got ebbs and flows of passages of strength to play by both teams, and it's certainly Scotland's patch at the moment. It's up to Wales now to break that down.
So far this quarter, Scotland certainly have the edge. Cleary's looking to get the ball in. And a great shot put away. Takes the score 21 Wales, 18 now to Scotland. And it's at times like this when you can feel the pressure building, you had a big advantage, it's creeping away from you.
Yeah, it's just trying to keep your head in the moment and not reflecting, you know, several errors that you've made personally or as a team. It's living in the moment, park that, moving on, let's consolidate again and do what we know we can do. So both teams, you know, we see Scotland doing that at the moment. That's up to Wales now to bring the ball back through.
So unforced error there. Gives the throw into Wales. Davis looking down the court. And that's great vision by Llewellyn again, into row, under the post. Scotland just really need to tighten up, stop those long balls coming in.
Yeah, it is a kind of cross-court ball, so it could be taken if the position's adjusted just slightly by Lauren and Tate at goalkeeper. And I'm sure our coaches will talk to her about that at half-time.
Good drive by Llewellyn, taking the front ball there, creating space under row.
Yeah, she drew the goalkeeper forward there, Lynn, didn't she?
Wales now just passage play going the other way, Wales pulling away. Currently 24 to Wales, 18 to Scotland. Good take by Goodwin.
It's a great shot under pressure there.
Great interception.
Oh, and a fabulous feed again from Joanne Pettit, just a little bit too much weight on it.
So umpire saw the contact outside the circle first. And again, Goodwin puts the ball away. And at this level, you'd want to see these kind of close competitive games, because I think that's where the players really get some advantage from international competition in a way that perhaps they don't when, you know, they're playing only each other or different types of netball.
It's where they learn their craft at that level. You know, you want that. The game has changed. It's physically a much tougher, more powerful game than several years ago. So these young players need this head-to-head exposure on a more regular basis.
So Wales now, the lead cut to just 3. I want to be patient in attack. Really well-timed rebound by Rowe. With 2.5 minutes to go, leads 4.
Davies called for obstruction there, leaving a 2-on-1 in the circle, so a good feed in by Nicola McCleary.
Brereton's got a great lean and really good discipline on her 3-foot, but still good shot by Scotland.
Goodwin has a very, very, very calm, composed nature. She's very, very cool under pressure, and she's sinking the shots well.
So both teams competing for every ball at this moment in time, as you'd expect. I think they both sense the importance of finishing as far ahead or as close to the other in this quarter as they can do. That was a great pivot turn there by Goodwin. And well seen by Petit in there. The two working really well together, the goal attack, goal shooter for Scotland.
Yeah, they are working. Both these girls have been in the Thistles squad, long squads over the last season, so they have played well together.
Good patience by Wales, bring the ball down.
Oh. The hit from Lauren Tate there, just mistimed as Llewellyn drove fast into circle. Was
lucky pickup by Wales, but Rowe puts it away.
Yeah, just a little misunderstanding between Llewellyn and Rowe there, but they tidied it up and put the shot away.
So 30 seconds to go in this quarter. Very important shot for Bethany Goodwin there, put it away. And again, well, just hold on to that one. So at the end of the second quarter, a very close fought match with Wales just ahead on 27 and Scotland on 24 goals. So, players to watch so far.
Yeah, I think obviously Bethan Goodwin, Joanne Pettit have combined exceptionally well for Scotland. They consolidated their movement, their timing was better, their composure on the shot was excellent, which has resulted in an excellent quarter by Scotland. I think the move putting Nicola McCleary into centre has strengthened that combination as well. Georgia Rowe, it's hard to stop for Wales too. Very solid shooting, great positioning. So yeah, we've got a game on here, Lynn.
So we're delighted that we have with us the national coach for Scotland, Gail Prata, about to join us. Gail, welcome.
Thank you.
Good to see you here. Very close game.
It is.
Very exciting.
Very exciting. Great comeback for the Scotland under-21s. They had a good second quarter.
So, your thoughts so far? What would you be saying to Scotland if you were sitting on the bench?
Quite a lot. But I think our defence is just starting to get it. They've got a lot more movement happening around that big shooter just to confuse the space. Bethany needs to run hard through the front of the goal shooter rather than go around the back and try and come around, or try and restrict that goal attack. But much better effort from the defensive end on the attack, doing some really nice stuff.
And we turn to Wales. They were, 7-8 goals in front. They've done some really good things, but actually the gap's narrowing. So advice to them.
For Wales, I think that they probably need to get back to the game that they started with. Just keep it simple and basic, work the ball into their big shooter.
Okay, and if you were to have to pick out, a player from each side that you would say you'd be looking at, clearly we've got the World Youth coming up in a couple of years. We've just come out of Sydney, but Liverpool 2019 is not too far away. What are you seeing here?
Well, I think little Rachel Enham for the under-21s, Scotland under-21s, is doing a good job of Bethan Dyke, who's a very good mid-quarter for Wales and played for their open squad in the Netball World Cup. So she's doing a good job there. So I think that battle there is good to watch.
So, and we were talking earlier about the coaching team for Scotland. See two very familiar faces, Leslie McDonald and Claire Brownie, both stepping out of international netball in one respect, but straight into it in another in terms of coaching.
Oh, they're both very good coaches, technically and strategy-wise. They've got a lot of experience behind both of them, and they're doing a great job for us, and it's great to have players come in and give back to the sport.
Absolutely. So let's now go to the Scottish bench, and let's hear Leslie and Claire's views.
In the circle, they tell me off once I try. Come back.
Maybe I should. No, I think it works sometimes. Maybe I just need to go with it sometimes.
Yeah, because as I get to it, coming, I'll try and bounce it off again, but then I know that completely easy to try on this person.
Yeah, no,
so you don't need to stay back.
Yeah, just you stay back.
So we're just about to start the third quarter here at the Aberdeen Sports Village. We have Wales on 27, Scotland on 24. Just one change to tell you about at half-time. Wales have brought on a new centre. Harriet Skinner joins the match. And we're just about to hand over to the umpires to start the second half of this game. Welcome back, Jerry. We heard from Gail Prata, the national coach for Scotland, talking really about some of the very good quality play that we've seen out here and how she's already beginning to look to see not only who she might be bringing through the Scottish ranks, but also clearly what some of the competition will be going forward. So very little change. What are we likely to see the second half?
Yeah, I think now that both teams have settled into their game, they're getting a little bit of rhythm. It's down to the players on court to read each other's strengths and areas of weaknesses and capitalise on both. You know, you have to see what does your opponent not like and force them to be in that position or those areas, force them to take the ball where they don't want it, put the shot up for what they don't want. So they're now starting to really read their opponent. They're getting to know them. There's been very little change. They've now played 30 minutes against each other one-on-one in some of these places. So yeah, it's about capitalising there as well.
So little pop of the ball from Petit to Goodwin under the post. She'll be disappointed with that, having shot so well up to now.
Yeah, an uncharacteristic miss. And it was a critical goal we were looking for, but got to work back and get it back now.
So Wales bring the ball out strongly. Harriet Skinner getting a first touch of the ball there. And Rowe makes no mistake. The score for Wales to push them 5 ahead as we just start this third quarter.
That's an excellent first time feed in again.
Good confident long shot there by Rowe. So tight defence there, bit of pressure from the Welsh defenders. Got them the result of the turnover. Very quick transition down to the Welsh attack.
Yeah, and that was great pressure on the shot there from Lauren Tate, but just falling into the defence at the last second, allowing Llewellyn to drive through and pick up that rebound beautifully.
Very good ball. Feed into Rowe. Positioning was very strong there. And the gap just beginning to emerge. Wales on 32, Scotland trailing slightly on 24.
Yeah, they've had an excellent start to this third quarter, Wales. That's 3 goals in a row. Scotland really need to focus here. Lovely goal by Joanne Pettit, just to calm the Scotland nerves, take the pressure off a little.
A long ball from Llewellyn into Rowe didn't quite come off this time, so Scotland get an opportunity. There we see again that lovely long shot. Good pressure by Wales.
It's great support from Bethany Sutherland there, helping bring the ball through to the Scotland's attack.
Brereton nearly got there with a good tip.
And great Welsh defensive pressure in the circle now. They're really messing up the shot of the Scotland duo here.
Good defence by Fern Davis there, not allowing the space on the back line.
Yeah, it was excellent coverage, but composure shown by Scotland, swinging the ball round to feed in from a different angle.
Unlucky Brereton again got a hand to the ball, but went through, and Goodwin put it away. Gap's been narrowed to 5, with Wales ahead on 32.
Oh yeah, penalty not set there. Just misunderstanding of where the penalty should be taken from. It's given the turnover to Scotland.
Very good passage of play down. Opted to pop it to the goal attack, but unfortunately,
yeah, it's an unfortunate miss. Bethan Goodwin has just found herself off balance and had to pop it through to Jo Pettit.
But turnover back to Scotland, so they'll have another try. There's something in the textbook which says never turn your back to the ball.
Those words were just running right through my mind there.
If there is such a thing as a textbook for netball. Good play by Wales. Scottish defence did well there to cut out the option to row under the post.
Yeah, it's just getting the elevation on that back ball. It's a difficult skill to master, isn't it, Lynn, when you're travelling backwards and trying to get upwards. And you know, Lauren Tate is seeing the ball, she just can't get her hand up quick enough to tip it.
Bearing in mind where these two teams did finish back in 2013 at the World Youth Netball Cup, and there was a few position differences between them. You wouldn't see that on the court today. They're very, very close match.
Yeah, it's a very even match, and it is what we anticipated, having been involved heavily, obviously, in the Scotland system for the last 5 years and seeing the progression in the pathway and the development of our players and coaches, and you know how they have progressed. We knew it would be a game on. They have closed that gap, which is excellent for European netball.
That was well weighted there. Llewellyn did a great front cut into row under the post. And Wales take the score to 34, Scotland 27. And we're halfway through this third quarter. Well kept in there by Skinner at centre. I think that one should be ticked up to Skinner there. Good effort. Wales really wanted that ball.
Yeah, it's a very strong quarter by the Welsh players out on court here, Lynn.
So Llewellyn puts the penalty away. And that's a very well spotted early ball in from Bethan Dyke there to row. Takes the gap now to 10.
It's a very strong quarter by the Welsh team. We have an injury time called by the Scotland wing defence.
So 2 minutes injury time. She looks like that hand's already strapped, so yeah. Possibly just caught it.
Yeah, I think Rachel started the game with the strapping on, so she's obviously carrying a little niggle there.
So the Welsh side will be very pleased with the position at this point, having got double figures ahead of the Scottish team, and actually it doesn't feel like a 10-goal game at this moment in time.
No, it doesn't look like that. The Welsh team have had a very, very strong passage of play there. It's the first time they've gone on to a double-figure league, but they'll know not to be complacent. Scotland will keep fighting. They'll come back and really bring the game back to Wales.
So don't forget, if you're at home, you can join us by tweeting your views here at hashtag Netball Europe 21. Send us your views and see what you're thinking of the game here. So some views from, we've got Claire Nelson, the new Chief Executive of Scotland, watching the game here. So welcome, Claire. I hope you're enjoying your very new position. You're very welcome to the Netball Europe family. Keep your comments and views coming. We are interested in your views and your thoughts on the game. If we get a chance, I'm happy to read them out. So Janice Marino, thank you for your shout out for Netball Scotland. So here we go. Few changes from Scotland.
Yeah, we can see.
Yeah, so that injury perhaps was more serious than we thought. So Bethany Sutherland has moved up to wing defence and Rebecca Edgar has come on at goal defence.
And Bethan Goodwin takes the first goal for Scotland. Brings the score 37 Wales, Scotland 28. Lovely feed under post to Georgia Rowe for Wales.
So good patience there by Wales. Brereton's got close a number of times, managed to get her hand to that ball again. So her timing is working really well in that circle for Wales.
Yeah, she's really got the attack under pressure. She's reading the ball very well coming in.
Good shot by Goodwin. Just didn't quite get the centre pass off. Now offside called. Sutherland just offside in the circle. Good choice there by Skinner at centre. And Rowe pops the ball away again. So Gemma Shand, who's watching us on the live Twitter feed, also agrees. Some great feeds into the circle. Netball Scotland. Gemma, hope you're enjoying the game. Good pressure by Scotland. Wales forced to go back and a turnover. Quick transition into attack. Wow, that was interesting. What did you see there, Jerry?
I actually thought the Scotland centre had her hands on the ball first, but I didn't hear any call from the umpire. I think that did confuse the players. Maybe just the crowd noise drowning out what her call was initially.
Not surprisingly, it's very noisy here at the Aberdeen Sports Village, which is great because the crowd are really getting behind their home team. And it seems to be working. Wales 39, Scotland 32. But here come Wales again. Well weighted there.
Yeah, it's a great drive into the circle by Llewellyn, just drawing the Scotland defence off and allowing that free side to open up for the feed into Georgia Rowe.
So again, good pressure by Wales. Turnover. Scotland need to really keep themselves in this game.
Yeah, they're just starting to pull away a little bit again. Wales is back up to 9. And it's Wales centre pass.
So 2 minutes left of this quarter, and I think coaches will be starting to think about the last 15 minutes. Clearly another 2 games to go after today, game for each of the days. So early thoughts on what we might see?
You know, 9 goals may seem, well, 10 goals we are at the moment may seem a lot, but it is only 5 turnovers we're looking for. So I'm sure players, unfortunately, won't be able to, the coaches won't be able to rest key players at the moment. You know, we don't have that luxury. The game is still there to be won by both teams. Skinner certainly has come on for Wales and made an impact at centre. That's been a positive substitution made.
And there's that drive by Llewellyn, pulls a defender, and a very good ball over into row under the post. That combination's working very well.
It's working well. Well, that's a great long ball read by Lauren Tate there.
That's unfortunate. Petty just allowed herself to step out of the court. Teams have just got to be conscious now into the last minute of this third quarter.
It's great defensive pressure there.
Unlucky just called for footwork, goal attack for Scotland. Danny's tweeted us, wants to know where all these tall players come from. So as we head towards the end of this third quarter, Wales do a great turnover. Scotland will be disappointed with that.
Yeah, that was a basic error that's made. It's given Wales an easy goal. And that's the experience of Dyke showing there. Lynn, she was very aware the clock was running down, forced the long ball into row, it's drawn the penalty, pass the shot, an extra goal for Wales. A very clever play.
So the end of the third quarter here at the Aberdeen Sports Village sees Wales on 46 and Scotland on 32. So we were so close at one point in that quarter, only 3 goals in it. It could have been anyone's game. What do you think happened? What's made the difference there?
The confidence of the Welsh team. They came out, they stole the Scotland first centre pass, they got a run on the goal. It really broke the confidence of the Scotland team. Took them quite a wee while to get back into the game there. I think they did. You know, they haven't given up, but we have seen an exceptionally strong quarter from Wales.
So let's just see if we can hear what the players are being told by Scotland.
Use the resets more, alright? Create that width more within our attacking unit, alright? When we do that first time ball, it's great and it's going in first time. Keep having a look to see what's on first time in the circle, give it first time, alright? If it's not, then yes, use the resets and create something else and keep that width within the attacking unit, yes?
Do you want me to hold the first time ball?
Yep. Yeah, let's see if we get the ball in first time too. Alright, Bethan was doing some good stuff to move that first time and then get the ball out of the post, alright? So let's try and do the same. Centre passes are working really well. What we said about that overload, if it's not on, then just pop, alright? Because Lee was free quite a lot in that overload, but she was just popping because she was available, alright? So have a look. If they're not marking you, then you're going to come in for that, alright?
First two and 6 players.
Did you hear that? First 2 or 6 packs.
So Scotland were talking there about using the space more effectively, thinking about where they're putting the ball. So it sounded like they're conscious of not really using space as well as they might.
Yeah, they're very tight body on body, and I'm sure Leslie McDonald's just asking the attack to pull away from their defence, to also the ball placement, to place ahead, drive onto it, just to make it a little bit more difficult for the defence.
And we continue to have your tweets. Please keep them coming here at Netball Europe 21. Janice Marino again agrees, doesn't quite understand where all the tall players come from. Priya, we will keep the tweets going. Thank you for your comments. And please let us know what you think of the commentary and your thoughts on the game. So last 15 minutes here in the second game today at the Aberdeen Sports Village. Wales take to the court on 46, Scotland on 32. Gap of 14, but still all to play for.
Just waiting on confirmation of some changes there. I can see some new faces in the Scotland lineup. We have some changes in combinations.
So down the other end, Wales go.
Okay, so we now have Joanne Pettit has gone from goal attack to goal shooter for Scotland. Lee Valentine has moved from wing attack to goal attack. Kelly Boyle has come back onto court. She's now on at wing attack. Nick McCleary stays at centre, and the same back three who finished the third quarter.
So not surprising, Wales haven't made any changes. They'll have been pleased with the way the team finished that. And Scotland clearly thinking they may need some changes to narrow that gap.
Yeah, they've certainly changed the attacking combination. I think that was, broken down very, very well by the Welsh defence in the third quarter. So some fresh legs off the bench.
So let's see how Scotland now fare with those new combinations on the court. Gap currently at 14. Good hands there by Brereton again. Scotland have the throw in.
Yeah, and Davies just called for contact on Joe Pettit.
Chance for Scotland to pull one back. Wales just settling into attack. Good ball into Rowe. And a confident shot by Rowe. Keeps the gap. 14 goals. Wales 49, Scotland 35.
Yeah, that was a lovely screen by Lee Valentine there. Joe Pettit just couldn't keep balance to take the first shot, but takes the ball back under post, sinks the goal. Wales 49, Scotland 36.
So turnover to Scotland. Showing a little bit of lack of characteristic discipline on the court perhaps at the moment, a couple of places. Do you think this is beginning to show the end of the match? Players not really kind of sure what they're doing now? Or
yeah, I think there's just so much riding on it. Then the players are wanting to compete for every ball. There's just a few of them got their timing out when they're going for those interceptions. Umpires will tidy that up quite quickly.
I think we'd all welcome, absolutely, the competitiveness of the game, and the players at this standard are showing that they can compete really well, effective, good quality netball. Did you get a sense that the players, the teams were excited about the live streaming opportunity, the fact that people who they're friends and family with who know they play netball but don't really see it, are going to value what's happening today?
it's a huge bonus for these players, and I certainly know the Scotland under-21s were very excited when the news broke that we had got the funding and the partnership was working, it was going out. Not all the families and friends can be here, and as you say, some don't have a great understanding of the game, so to be able to sit in the comfort of their home and watch it live is fantastic.
So if you were describing to somebody who may be tuning into netball for the first time, what is it about this sport which makes it so great?
It's a fantastic advocate for female sport. It's one of the fastest games you will see. It's a team sport. Every player must be involved in the game. We have to bring the ball through each third of the game, therefore involving team dynamics, the strategies that have to go on, the quick decision making. It's a fantastic game for females.
And on the end of a very good passage of Welsh play, very good interception by Tate. Turns the ball round and allows, unlucky there, that would have pulled it back to 10 goals.
Yeah.
Nice smile from Brereton there, goalkeeper. Another good ball fed into Rowe. She's had a good game, Rowe.
She's had a fantastic game. You can see her maturing game on game, and obviously being exposed at the World Cup in Sydney has been of great benefit to her. She's quite new to the game. It's not been her game since she's been at primary school. She's come into the game late, and she's really a rising star for Wales.
So as I said in the previous game, in this championships, as for all Netball Europe Championships, the coach of one team picks the most valuable player of the other team. The scores are added up, and at the end of the tournament on Sunday, when we award the championship medals, the most valuable player will emerge. So your thoughts so far on two players, one from each side, that you think have done particularly well today?
For me, probably for Wales, the composure of the feeds. Georgia Rowe is sinking the ball, but those feeds are coming in from Bethan Dyke. She would be my Welsh player of the match today. And I think on the opposite side, looking at the Scotland team, we've got some great performances across the board. Bethan Goodwin has just taken to bench. She has sunk a lot of shots for Scotland. I would probably have gone with young Bethan.
Well, we'll see on Sunday how right you were, and if the coaches also thought the same. So Scotland making it very difficult for the Welsh to get the ball in. Tate having
I think Lauren
very
Tate
good game in there.
Really starting to read those balls coming in. She's really challenging them now, making the Welsh attack think very, very carefully before they put the balls in.
And Donna Brady's tweeted as, well done Georgia, so she agrees with your comment about the Welsh goal shooter. But we have a game on our hands here. Wales 51, Scotland 40, and we still have half of this last quarter to go.
And just an unforced error there, Welsh team putting the ball over the back line, so it's a turnover to Scotland. Well held by Bethany Sutherland.
Good quick feeds down the court. Possibly can't afford to be missing those shots at this stage of the match.
No, they are critical, and when it's quite close under post, it's just that composure, focus and sink the ball.
HWU Netball saying, we are loving the live stream, weekend sorted. Well, is there anything else on this weekend that we will be doing apart from watching the netball? Wales building up patiently. Great ball into Georgia Rowe, again finding her under the post. the region's really seen some fantastic netball in the last few years. We've been very fortunate because Scotland hosted the World Youth Netball Cup back in 2013, the Commonwealth Games 2014, and whilst we headed down to Sydney for the World Netball Cup just August, which is just past, the amount of netball around the world has been brilliant. The region hosted the Open in May, and there was 2 invitational teams, South Africa, Trinidad and Tobago. So what's your take on how netball in the region is developing, Jerry?
Well, in terms of Scotland, talking for Netball Scotland, our membership has gone up in the last 4 years by 93%. It is a sport that we're seeing develop across the country, from participation to elite. I know England have seen stats like that and beyond. The more profile we have, the more we get this sport out there to the, to non-members, to show them how attractive a sport it is. We will keep this sport really alive out there.
So another injury timeout.
Yes.
I think it might be
Scotland centre.
Looks like she might have just got caught there. So, Lynn Ryland, you will get a mention if you tweet us, so thank you for your comments. They're all very, very welcome. Wales clearly doing well, so you'll be very happy. Here in Aberdeen, we are standing at 52 for Wales, 41 for Scotland, with just over 4 minutes of this last quarter to go. So, good start to the weekend of netball here.
Yeah, it's been a good start. All teams, it's good to get those cobwebs blown off and get that first run out. I think you've summed the game up well, and it doesn't seem like a 10-11 goal gap between these two teams. But Wales have certainly pushed ahead with some really, really strong, powerful attack and have taken that lead into the last quarter.
So all to play for over the weekend. We'll be back here at the Aberdeen Sports Village tomorrow, Saturday. Match play starts at 2 p.m. for Scotland versus England, followed at 4 by Northern Ireland versus Wales. Again, all on live stream on demand, so make sure you are tuned in if you are not here in person.
I think we've got a bit of a blood injury here now, and the physio's just trying to cover the cut on Nick McCleary before she takes back to court.
I think the umpires might... What will they do if they can't stop her?
Well, we'll have to take her off court if we can't stop the bleeding, but I think we're into an umpire's timeout now to give the physio time to dress the wound.
Which seems, in the spirit of the match, the right thing to do in terms of the
Absolutely.
rules. And here we go. Last 4 minutes of this great game this afternoon between Wales and Scotland. Wales currently leading 52 goals to 41.
An excellent time jump by Rebecca Edgar there, but great chase down by Bethan Dyke, so Wales still on the attack.
Great ball into Rowe again under the post, stretches that lead to 12. It's nice to hear from Gibraltar, Janice Marino again. Gibraltar hosting our under-17s in March. Quite a number of teams will be making the flight down there. We'll be very much looking forward, Janice, to joining you all.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for Gibraltar to host such an event. They've participated well in the last few years at all the events they've hosted in Europe.
It's great to see support in the region in all our countries,
Yeah.
particularly countries like Gibraltar, where they put so much effort in over the years. and beginning to reap the benefit in terms of competition and people understanding what netball is about down there.
We have a good buddy system, as you know. Lynn Gibraltar are Netball Scotland's buddy, so we definitely work really well with them to support in any way we can and help with their development. The stronger everyone is in the region, the better it is for all of us.
Because I think it's fair to say that whilst the teams are absolutely competitive on court, there is a real sense of collaboration between member countries in the region. We genuinely want everybody in the region to do really well.
Absolutely, and it's just that sharing good practice. You know, if we can help each other, that's the way to move this sport forward.
Well, perhaps just a little bit of tiredness kicking in the game there, as we move into the last 2 minutes of the game.
Just a little bit too much on that ball from Nicola McCleary there. Yeah, it's just a little bit scrappy at this point. We just need someone to take control. And it's a great swing ball from Lee Valentine under the post to Joe Pettit.
Good pressure defence by Wales, get the turnover on the missed shot. We obviously have a Chloe James fan on Twitter, would like to see her take to the court for Wales. Well, 2 more games to go this weekend, so hopefully we'll see all the players in all squads get their opportunity. So just into the last minute of the game. I think we can fairly safely say this is going to be a win to the Welsh side. Question is just by how many, and as we know, the competition's close this weekend. It will all go on goal difference, so every point counts, as they say.
Every goal counts, Lynn, and yeah, it's certainly been a very solid win by Wales. They have competed in all 4 quarters, in particular the third quarter. They made a huge impact, and I think that's really where they won the game.
So as you can see, still very keen to get on with the game, put some points on the scoreboard. Good way to end the game for Llewellyn, the Welsh captain. And that is the end of the second game here at the Aberdeen Sports Village at the Netball Europe U-21 Championships in association with Inspire Sport. The game ends Wales on 55, Scotland on 43. Quick comments, Jerry, what did you think?
Yeah, really impressed by the talent from both sides out here on show tonight and in the previous game. Obviously, I watched that from the stands, Lynn, so we are really blessed in Europe to see these young athletes on court. Great coaching teams behind them, and I'm sure they'll do lots of analysis tonight moving into their next 2 games over the weekend.
So, Jerry, thank you for your time this afternoon. Keep your views coming at Netball Europe and use the hashtag Netball Europe 21. And remember, this match and all the matches will be available on the YouTube channel at youtube.com/Netball Europe. You'll be able to access both games in about half an hour's time. So if you missed the games, which I hope you didn't, another opportunity coming shortly. My thanks go to Inspire Sports, Aberdeen Sports Village and Aberdeen City Council for their support in bringing you this coverage today, which has been a QTV sports production for Netball Europe. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon for 2 more very competitive games. At 2 o'clock, Scotland, the hosts, take on England, followed at 4 o'clock by Northern Ireland versus Wales. Please join us then. From me, Lynn Carpenter, and all of us here at Aberdeen Sports Village, have a very good evening. Thank you.